Okay, here we go, and going.
Hello, I'm Shriley Swinford from Eldorado, Texas, and I was born on January 7th, 1994. But back in 1946, about 38 years before I was born, according to History.com, a murderer was found to have an alter ego. He murdered many kids after burglarizing their homes as an added thrill. This man was arrested and tried. Prosecutors didn't want to lose to an insanity case, so they found it no reason to try against him. He sat in jail on 3 counts of life. I watch CSI, New York, Las Vegas, Miami, etc. And I find it very hard to grasp the full acts of a murder. The capability of a criminal and those who understand it just befooled me. I live in a small town, so it's really hard for me to understand about the criminal and what people think about how and why to do this stuff. But I still find it really interesting. Forensic science and the study of law really sparked my interest. CSI, crime scene investigation, psychology, all of that. But even though I find a huge interest in these fields, I don't really wish to pursue them. Anyone has their own thoughts and beliefs on what may cause these things or these people to think this way, but to destroy someone's livelihood, just find another hobby or adrenaline rush, really. It's really mind-boggling that someone can grasp the full intentions of a murder. Forensic science was my first choice major for about 4 years, but I soon changed my major to veterinary medicine, mainly because I was afraid of the possible outcomes. Hopefully I'll find courage to get over it and choose forensic science or law, but for now, I'm happy with being a veterinarian.
Start and going. Okay, these are the people watching me. Did you stop it? No, I didn't know. Oh.
Hello, my name is Abby Renee Fuentes. I am a senior at Eldorado High School in Eldorado, Texas. And I am going to tell you all a little bit about my birthday and the history that is in its month. I was born in San Angelo, Texas on February 19th, 1994. I love having a birthday in the month of February, mainly because Valentine's Day is in February and that's one of my favorite holidays. The history behind Valentine's Day is a bit different and has various versions of it. Here are 2 versions that I found quite interesting. Version 1. Some say the day is named after a bishop named Valentine, who was stationed in the Roman Empire. Claudius II was the empire at that time. He thought that unmarried men made better soldiers, so he decided to make it a law that young men could not marry. Around 270 AD, Valentine took pity on the ostracized soldiers who were not permitted to marry or see their sweethearts. He became an advocate of these young lovers and began to perform secret marriages. He was soon found out and jailed and sentenced to be executed on February 24, 270 AD. The second version. Another version of the history of Valentine's Day is that Valentine fell in love with his jailer's daughter. Just before his death, he sent her a note and signed it, "From your Valentine." An air of romance surrounded his end, and those who knew about it spread the tale. Bishop Valentine then became Saint Valentine. Although there are many versions of the history of Valentine's Day, I still find them all interesting. I absolutely love Valentine's Day, and I am thrilled that it falls close to my birthday, because I can get chocolates and roses one week, and then clothes and money the next week. I am pleased to know the history behind Valentine's Day and thankful for St. Valentine. I found these two versions on history.com. That's it.
Okay, according to history.com, April 1994 marked the start of the Rwandan genocide. It started the mass killing of 800,000 Rwandan people that were seen to be the minority. Like most genocides, it was out of ambition to create a perfect society, ambition that was seen to be too cruel to go through with, but certainly not impossible to have tried. The ambitions that these people had were very harsh and almost impossible to have done, but that did not stop them from attempting to reach their goal for a perfect society. My name is Christian Sanchez, and I am a senior at Eldorado High School. My goal in life is to become a successful engineer. Being an engineer is something that I have always wanted to be because, well, I have a brilliant mind for math and science, and my mind just understands what's going on around, and I can actually picture everything as it works. I also enjoy math because it is basically like trying to find the answer to one big puzzle. I am an ambitious person, definitely not the type of person to have crazy ambitions to create a perfect society, but ambitions to reach goals that I have in life. Everyone wants to make a name for themselves when they grow up, and they all want to be successful. Well, without ambition, it's almost pointless to even try to reach those goals. Everyone has ambitions. It may not all relate to one another's because some may be more personal or more public than others, but I myself am ambitious to be a successful engineer so that I may be able to make money to provide for my mother and my brother. I'm also a self-driven individual, and when I see something that I want, I go and get it, and I don't like to sit around waiting for somebody to steal my opportunity. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Wellhall, and I'm a student here at Eldorado High School. My birthday falls on April 15th of 1994. Exactly 100 years ago, the Titanic made contact with the ocean floor. It was at exactly 2:20 a.m., the early morning of my birthday, on the 15th of April. But not only did the Titanic sink, April 15th was the day that all the survivors that were on the lifeboats were rescued. There were only 3 ships that responded to the Titanic, and those were the Olympic, the Frankfurt, and the Carpathia. The Carpathia was the only ship that rescued the survivors because it was the closest at 58 miles. At 8:50 a.m., the Carpathia headed to New York with 705 survivors. Out of all the passengers on the Titanic, only 705 passengers survived. The saddest part of it all to me was that there were hundreds of lives lost. And the first boat to be lowered from the Titanic only contained 19 people, and those people were only women and children. And that boat could hold up to 65 passengers. The only boats that they lowered into the water only carried about half of the boat's actual capacity. When the bodies were recovered later in the month, their pictures were taken, and that was how people claimed their loved ones. People had to pick up the bodies of babies and young children. On May 22nd, 1912, the SS Mackie Bennett was sent from New York to recover the last of the bodies. 328 bodies are recovered on May 15th. And out of the first class, only 94% of women survived, 31% of children, and 60% of men. 81% of the second class women, 10% of the children, and 44% of the men. 47% of women in the third class, 14% of the children, and 25% of the men. 87% of women and 24% of men of the crew. When I celebrate my birthday on April 15th, it will be 100 years ago that the Titanic hit the ocean. Thank you.
July 4th, 1776 was the day in history that we, America, gained our independence. We knew that from that day forward, we were free to make our own decisions, free from all the rules, but most of all, free from Britain. It was our turn to prove ourselves to the world, prove that we can make something of our country without the help from anybody else. Yes, it was a huge task to take on, but we wanted it more than anything. And I believe that if we had not made the Declaration of Independence, I would not be standing here today. My name is Amanda Garcia, born July 31st, 1994. I'm a senior at Eldorado High School, and the reason I chose to talk about Independence Day is because it relates a lot to me. I'm a very independent girl, and I'm ready to just be part of the world outside of my sheltered home and just take on life like on my own and just do all the things that I couldn't do like with my parents just watching over me the whole time. I compare the Declaration of Independence to my high school diploma, and I know that once I shake my principal's hand and that tassel's on my left side, I'm free. Free to make my own decisions, free to make my own rules, free to make mistakes, but most of all, and my personal favorite, free to leave a mark. Once America broke free from Britain, I know that we did not have all the answers, but we tried, and that is what brought us to become the developed country that we are today. I love challenges, and that's why I'm ready just to move out and just go out and experience the world. So this is just like another challenge for me. I know I can succeed, and I will. Nothing will hold me back from being the best I can possibly be. I know that along the way there will be obstacles, but if I fall, nothing will stop me from getting back up and moving forward on my path. My most important goal in life is to make something of myself, whether it be saving lives or creating something new that just changes the world. People will always remember July 4th, 1776, and one day, people will always remember the name Amanda Garcia, not for what I tried to do, but for what I did do. Thank you.